Hello, everyone. Mr. K here again. We're talking about brakes a little more. This is finally our last part on brakes, our last presentation. It's going to be part 5, talking about rotor and disc maintenance. All right. So we'll talk about how to inspect discs and drums. Talk about turning discs and drums on the car and turning them off the car. This is going to be a real short presentation. All right. First thing we're going to look for when we're looking at a brake disc or brake drum is cracks. And sometimes they're obvious, sometimes they're not, but this is kind of what they're going to look like. We've got a top right there, brake disc, bottom left, brake drum. There's another brake disc. Okay. You can see that one jumps out at you, but then you also see these tiny ones here. That is something you want to watch for. When we're inspecting these, besides looking for cracks, we also want to look for coloring. Why are we looking at coloring? Because if you see that, that is a sign that that disc has overheated and it's probably warped. Okay. Another one, that disc is overheated. Some people say if you see this, you should replace it, not just turn it and grind it back to true, but you should actually replace the whole disc, because if it's overheated, the metal has just become more brittle and it's not as strong and it's not going to wear as well anyway. I would turn them, just to be clear. If it was me, I would actually regrind those, but I guess it depends on how expensive they are. But the purists will tell you you should actually just replace it if you see that. Okay. Warpage is another thing we're going to inspect for. That's a little more complicated. There's a good picture on a drum brake on how to inspect warpage. I couldn't find a fantastic picture for disc brakes, but if you watch this video, that might help you visualize a little better what we're going to be checking for. So go ahead and pause my video at this time and watch that one. Okay, you should have just watched that video, and hopefully that gives you a good idea of what we're checking for when we actually check for warpage on a disc brake. Here's another one. Gives you a little more insight on that. So go ahead and pause my video now and watch the first 2 minutes and 10 seconds of this video. Okay, should have just watched that video. And that shows you how to set up the dial indicator. We're going to be doing that in class so we can measure brake rotor warpage. Okay, so we know it's warped. Now what do we do? Now it's time to turn it. Go ahead and watch this video at this time. You'll notice I have a lot of videos. That's because this is just a tough topic to put in pictures. You just have to see it in action. So watch this video. All right, we have one real similar to this in class. So hopefully that gives you a good idea of how that's going to work. And of course, we'll all use it. If you're doing it with a drum, it's going to be similar to the disc process. You're just going to orient things a little differently, but it can still be done with drum brakes. Okay, so what if you have them off the car? Someone takes them off the car for you, or you you take them off the car. You're going to use a machine that looks something like this. It's going to be the same idea. Same idea as on the car. You're just going to grind off material until it's smooth all the way around. Benefit of this is I would argue it's a cheaper machine. It's simpler the way it works. It is a little slower because you got to completely remove the rotors. And if you have to pull bearings out to do that, then it's a process. They are more compatible with a variety of auto manufacturers. The reason why I say that is because the way they mount in this machine is a lot of times you just have these cones similar to like a tire balancer, and they just go in the middle of these brake rotors or drums and hold them, hold pressure on them. Whereas the on-car machine has to have adapters for all the different bolt patterns. All right, told you it was going to be short. This time, go ahead and complete your assignment on brake systems part 5. Have a good day.